Give a person a piece of rope and they're going to make a mess with it. It seems to be something inside of people where they have a habit of tying rope in knots when they get given an end of rope. Just go and give it to somebody to play with and you watch the mess they'll make of your rope. Today we're going to talk about knots. In fact, 4 knots that I use the entire time in the outdoors. Whoa, that's bright. So let's jump into it. Welcome to this episode, and in this episode we're going to cover 4 knots that I use in the outdoors the entire time. The first knot I'm pretty sure you will have never seen before, and yet it is the most amazing knot ever. So if you don't know me, my name's Rob Yates. I've been a professional in the outdoors, working at the cutting edge of guiding expeditions and trips and training adventure sports coaches, leaders and guides for the past almost 30 years. I'm locked down in my garden today thanks to coronavirus, and I wanted to show you what knots I use often, how to tie them and what they're used for. So the first knot we're going to cover is called the no knot. Then we're going to look at the Boy Scout reef knots, then we're going to look at the clove hitch, and then we're going to look at the double figure of 8. So let's go jump into it. So there's 2 things with knots you have to consider. What you want to use it for, and how easy it is to get the knot undone after it's had an immense amount of load put on it. Now, anybody can attach a piece of rope to this tree branch and have it stay there. But can you have it attached to here, have it stay there, have it be able to hold your body weight or more, and get it undone super quickly? The knot I'm going to teach you now is the first knot that I teach to everybody, whether you're 5 years old or 50 years old. It's called the no knot, and the no knot works perfectly on friction. Now, the no knot can be used wrapped around a lamppost, wrapped around a tree branch, a kayak paddle, whatever you like. And once it's tied, it needs to have tension put on it, and then you can swing on it to your heart's content. Here we go. This is how to tie a no knot. So all you're going to do is wrap your rope around the tree branch 5 to 7 times, depending upon what surface it is. You know, if it's a lamppost, you might want to go 10 or 12 times, whereas this rugged tree branch here is only a few 5 or maybe 6 times. And so I've wrapped it around lots now. Let's see how strong it is if you just wrap the rope around the tree a bunch of times. You see, it's going nowhere. And the beauty with the no knot is just how easy it is to undo once it is that you've tied it. You just literally take the loops back round the branch, and last one-ish, and the knot comes undone. And you might be wondering, how much load can you put on a no knot? Well, I've used this with a pig rig pulley system to actually pull a 4x4 out of a ditch before, and it came undone just as easily as this one. So if you want to look after your ropes and look after your sanity, the no knot is a great way forwards. Next up, we have the reef knot, otherwise known as the Boy Scout knot. Left over right, right over left, so on and so forth. Check it out. Here you go. So this is a reef knot, commonly called the Boy Scout knot, and the purpose of the reef knot is for joining 2 ropes together in a way that the rope and the knot can easily come undone, even once it's been under pressure. Ideally, this knot is designed for tying 2 pieces of cord together that are of a different diameter. So how do you tie a reef knot? Take your 2 ends of rope and tie an overhand knot, just like you're doing up your shoes. You then take it and tie a second overhand knot. So if the blue comes on top and the bottom, it goes on top on there, back through the hole, pull it tight, and there you have a reef knot. The beauty of the reef knot is, even if this has been put under lots of tension, the reef knot, not only is it quick and easy to tie, it's quick and easy to undo as well. Now we have the clove hitch, arguably a more sophisticated version of the no knot. You use the clove hitch to tie around solid objects, such as my tree branch. Check it out. So next up we have the clove hitch. The clove hitch is a more sophisticated version of the no knot, but achieves exactly the same purpose. It is for attaching a rope to a static object such as a bar or my axe handle in this case, and works on a basic rolling hitch principle. And so in slow time, this is how we tie a clove hitch. Just like that. And last but not least, we have your double figure of 8. The knot used extensively by climbers often to go and tie into their climbing harnesses with, but equally you can use it to tie on anything. Because of the amount of loops and rounds it's got as you make this knot, and the rope is doubled up, the double figure of 8 knot is exceptionally easy to get undone, even when it's had loads of load put on it. Check it out, just here somewhere. So this is a double figure of 8 knot. It's used to create a loop that can be as big as you like, and often is the knot that climbers use to tie into their climbing harness with. The beauty of this knot is it can be made as big as you like to tie around something, or attach yourself to something, or something to something, but equally, because of the amount of twists and turns involved in it, it's quite easy to get undone even after it's had the largest amount of strain put on it possible. So to tie a double figure of 8 knot, you make a loop like so, and you run both the lines together at the same time, and so you then make a loop, take the end round the back, then go and feed it back through the hole that is remaining. Pull it tight, and there you have it. A double figure of 8 knot ready to go and clip into something, attach to something, or do something else with. And so there you have it. The 4 knots that I use most in the outdoors. They're quick, they're simple, and they all come undone nice and easily after they've been used. The first knot that this little one's going to be using is the no knot. Say hello, Katie. There we go. Why take it? It's like coronavirus is take your kid to work time, isn't it? I hope that's been useful. Please like this, please subscribe, and please in the comments below let me know what your favourite knots are, or other knots that you would like to learn. Maybe there's one you're struggling with, you'd like a bit of coaching on. I'll do a video on it for you. Stay awesome, go get outdoors.